The life you are living is not yours. It was handed to you before you could speak, before you could choose, before you could ask the only question that matters. What do I actually want? You have been following a script written by your parents, your teachers, your culture, your religion, your friends, the advertisers, the algorithms, the ghosts of generations who came before you and handed down their fears, their limitations, their versions of what a life should be. And you have been performing this script so well for so long that you forgot you were acting. You forgot there was another option. You forgot that you were the author of your own life, not the actor in someone else's play. Pattern interrupt. Your life is not your own. Your life is a rental, and the lease is up. Let me show you how the script was written. The first draft came from your parents, not because they were bad, because they were scared. They wanted you to be safe, and safe meant predictable. Safe meant the known path. Safe meant college, career, marriage, house, retirement, death. In that order, with as few surprises as possible. They gave you this script out of love. But love does not make the script true. Love just makes the script harder to question. You did not question. You were a child. Children believe. Children trust. Children do not know that the script is not the only way. So you memorize your lines. You learned your cues. You practiced your performance. The second draft came from school. Sit still. Raise your hand. Follow instructions. Do not ask why. The answer is in the book. The book is always right. Conform. Comply. Obey. School did not teach you how to think. School taught you how to obey, how to follow someone else's schedule, how to value someone else's approval, how to measure yourself by someone else's grades. You learned the lesson well. Too well. You learned that the script is reality, that the questions are dangerous, that the path is already written. The third draft came from culture. Work hard. Buy things. Consume. Compare. Want. Scroll. Repeat. Be busy. Be available. Be responsive. Be successful. Be happy. But only in the ways we approve. Only according to the metrics we provide. You have been living inside this script for so long that you have forgotten there is anything outside it. The walls of the script have become the walls of the world, and you have stopped trying to find the door. Pattern interrupt. Your dissatisfaction is not a problem. Your dissatisfaction is the signal that the script is wrong, and you are ready for a rewrite. Here is the hidden truth about living someone else's life. You are not born wanting a career. You were taught to want one. You were not born wanting a mortgage. You were taught to want one. You were not born wanting the approval of strangers. You were taught to need it. Your desires are not yours. Your desires are borrowed from a culture that profits from your wanting, from a system that depends on your compliance, from a script that was written to keep you asleep. The person who wrote the script does not know you, does not care about you, does not want you to wake up. The script is not about your happiness. The script is about your predictability. A predictable person is a profitable person. An unpredictable person is a threat. You have been profitable. You have been predictable. You have been a threat to no one. And you have called this being responsible. But responsible to whom? To the script, to the system, to the ghosts who wrote the lines. You have not been responsible to yourself. You have not even asked what being responsible to yourself would mean. Ask now, what would it mean to be responsible to yourself? Not to your parents, not to your boss, not to the culture, to yourself. What does that life look like? What would you do? Who would you be? What would you stop pretending? The answers are in you. They have always been in you. You just stopped listening because the script told you that your own voice was not important, that your own desires were selfish, that your own life was not yours to live. The script is a lie. The script is the lie, and you have been living it. Napoleon Hill wrote about definiteness of purpose, a clear, compelling, personal vision of what you want. Not what you should want, not what you are supposed to want, what you actually want, the thing that keeps you awake at night, the thing that feels impractical and impossible and irresponsible. That thing is not impractical. That thing is the only practical thing, because that thing is you. And a life spent pretending to be someone else is not practical. A life spent pretending to be someone else is a life wasted. You have been wasting your life, not because you are lazy, because you have been following a script that was never about you. And the script is ending, not because you are dying, Because you're finally waking up. The wake-up is uncomfortable. The wake-up is disorienting. The wake-up is the feeling that the ground has shifted and you do not know where to stand. That feeling is not lost. That feeling is found. You have found the edge of the script. You have found the wall of the cage. And you are realizing that the wall is not as solid as you thought. That the cage was never locked. That you have been standing in an open door, waiting for permission to walk through. Pattern interrupt. Your confusion is not a sign that you are broken. Your confusion is a sign that you are breaking free. And breaking free is not clean. Breaking free is messy. Breaking free is worth it. Let me tell you about the person who writes their own script. They are not special. They are not geniuses. They are not lucky. They are just willing to disappoint. To disappoint their parents. To disappoint their friends. To disappoint the expectations of a culture that never asked what they wanted. The scriptwriter says no. Not to everything. To the things that are not theirs. To the roles that do not fit. To the performances that drain them. The scriptwriter says no so they can say yes to what matters. You have been saying yes. To everything. To everyone. To the script. You have been saying yes to the life that was handed to you. And you have been exhausted not because you're doing too much. Because you are doing too much of what does not matter. Start saying no. Not with aggression. With clarity. This is not mine. This role is not for me. This expectation is not my obligation. The first no will be the hardest. The people around you are used to your compliance. They have built their expectations around your performance. When you stop performing, they will be confused. They will be disappointed. They will try to pull you back into the script. Do not go back. Their disappointment is not your responsibility. Their expectations are not your commands. Their comfort is not your purpose. You are not here to make them comfortable. You are here to become who you are. And who you are is not the character they wrote for you. Napoleon Hill wrote that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. You have conceived someone else's life. You have believed someone else's life. And you have achieved someone else's life. Conceive your own, not as a fantasy, as a direction, as a choice. The choice to stop living the script. The choice to start writing your own. The writing is not easy. The writing requires courage. The writing requires you to sit in silence and ask the question you have been avoiding. What do I actually want? Not what I should want. What do I want? The answer may not come immediately. The answer may come as a whisper. The answer may change. That is fine. The answer is not a destination. The answer is a direction. And the direction is enough to take the first step. Pattern interrupt. You do not need the whole script. You need the next line. Write it now. The next line is not a plan. The next line is a choice. A small choice. A choice to do one thing today that is not in the script. To say one no that the script expects you to say yes to. To say one yes that the script expects you to say no to. The choice will feel strange. The choice will feel selfish. The choice will feel like a betrayal. That is the script talking. The script wants you to feel guilty for choosing yourself. The script wants you to feel responsible for everyone else's comfort. You're not responsible for everyone else's comfort. You're responsible for your own life. And your own life is slipping away while you perform someone else's. Stop performing. Start living. Not the life you were told to want. The life you actually want. The one that has been waiting for you to stop acting and start being. The being is not complicated. The being is not dramatic. The being is the quiet, daily choice to align your actions with your own values. To spend your time on what matters to you. To surround yourself with people who see you, not the character. The being is the most radical thing you can do. Because the being is a rejection of the script. The being is a declaration that you are not for sale. That your life is not a performance. That your existence is not a product. The script wants you to be a product. The script wants you to be predictable. The script wants you to be profitable. You're not a product. You're a person. And persons are not meant to be lived by someone else's rules. You have been living someone else's life. Not because you had to. Because you never knew you could choose otherwise. Now you know. Now you have to decide. Not tomorrow. Now, will you continue the performance? Or will you step off the stage and into the life that is yours? The choice is yours. It has always been yours. The script convinced you otherwise. The script is a liar. Stop listening to the script. Start listening to yourself. The self that knew before the world taught you otherwise. The self that wants. The self that dreams. The self that is tired of pretending. That self is not lost. That self is buried. Under years of the script. Under the weight of expectations. Under the exhaustion of performing. Start digging. Not with a dramatic declaration. With one small choice. One line of your own script. Written today. Not for applause. For alignment. For the quiet knowing that you are finally becoming who you are. Who you are is not the character. Who you are is the author. Not the actor. The author. And the author has been waiting for you to pick up the pen. Pick it up. Not tomorrow. Now. The page is blank. The ink is fresh. The life is yours. Write it. Not for them. For you. You are not living someone else's life. You are finally living your own. The script ends here. The author begins now. Right? Not with certainty. With courage. One word at a time. Your life is waiting. Stop performing. Start authoring. The pen is in your hand. Right?